Hey you! What kind of mother are you? Seriously? This is just unbelievable. You've completely failed as a mother. Excuse me? Who is this? I have no idea why I am being confronted like this. You must have the wrong person. Please be more careful when sending messages next time. Wow! Wrong person? Don't you think you need to apologize to me first? I'm pretty sure I've got the right person. Just look at how you've raised your son. My son? I don't have a son. Yes, you do. Stop lying. Do you think you can get away with acting dumb? I'm Julia. I'm your son's girlfriend. What? Well, technically, I'm his ex-girlfriend, though. I've been through a lot because of your son, and it's all because of how you raised him. Ex-girlfriend? What are you talking about? Do you still think I got the wrong number? I used to date your son, George. Don't tell me you don't know your own son's name. What? George's ex-girlfriend? Hold on. You are a lady? Obviously! That's so rude! You're just as much of a scum as your son. Did George do something to you? Yes, he did. He did something terrible to me. He betrayed me. I was deceived into a marriage scam by George. Marriage scam? Your son dwindled me out of $300,000 in a marriage scam. My son did that? $300,000? Yes, he did. When I confronted him about it, he said he'd been taught since childhood to extort money from women. According to him, everything he did was on his mother's orders, so it wasn't his fault. He also mentioned that he always felt guilty. What? He said that to you? Yes. And I have it recorded on a voice recorder. Wow, I'd love to hear that. No way. I'm keeping this as evidence. I can't trust what you might do with it. If I give this to the police, you and your son will both go to jail for marriage scam. You wouldn't like that, right? That's why I want you to take responsibility. Responsibility? Yes, for what you've done. What do you mean? Repay the $300,000 now. I'll consider that as settlement money. Also, since I'm pregnant, take responsibility and pay child support. You're pregnant with George? You're kidding, right? This is no joke. Why would I make a joke about it? George promised to marry me. I trusted him and loved him, so I lent him $300,000. And yet, when I told him about the pregnancy, he said he had no intention of marrying me and ran away. I bet he's hiding in your house right now, isn't he? Well, he's here in my house. See? I knew it. So that confirms that you two are accomplices in the crime. I will never forgive you and your son. Enjoy your peace while it lasts. Because once I submit this evidence to the police, it's over for you. Is that so? Well, go ahead and do as you please. Oh, really? You're trying to make me lower my guard and steal the voice recorder, aren't you? Or maybe you're thinking of blackmailing me. But I'm not afraid of you. Justice will prevail. What are you talking about? You two are filthy, despicable criminals. You'd take any terrifying means to avoid getting caught by the police, right? I know what you're thinking. I'm just taking righteous action against a scammer. I'm offering to settle things out of court. I'll drop the marriage scam charges if you return the $300,000. I'll get rid of the evidence too. Also, I'll raise the child by myself. So please pay child support to me. It's that easy, you know. Think carefully about whether you'd prefer to go to jail with your son or pay $300,000 in child support. You're contradicting yourself in so many ways, aren't you? Whatever. Just do whatever you want. Please submit that so-called evidence to the police. Are you sure about that? Anyway, I'll make sure you and George take full responsibility. Repay the $300,000 in child support. Anything else is non-negotiable. I see. I'm pretty sure there's a misunderstanding. Please give me some time to talk to my husband first. There's no way I'm wrong, but whatever. If your husband found out that his son was a filthy marriage scammer who exploited people for money, I don't know what would happen to you, you know? You're fine with stealing from others, but desperate to save yourself, huh? You are indeed a vile criminal. If everything you say is a lie, then you're the one committing fraud. It's not a lie, so it doesn't matter. Just give me $300,000 in child support. Hey, honey, are you done with your work? Not yet. I have to finish writing a report about my business trip today. I can't wait to go back home, honey. Me too. I know you are busy, but there's something I need to talk to you about. What's wrong? I got a weird message from someone today. According to that person, George was involved in a marriage scam. And now, the woman he conned out of $300,000 is pregnant. What? George did that? And the woman is pregnant? What the hell is going on? She said her name was Julia and claimed that she was George's ex-girlfriend. According to her, I instructed George to take the money. So she's demanding compensation and child support. Did you agree to pay? Of course not. I thought so. It's probably just a prank. Don't take it seriously. George wouldn't do something like that anyway. Or maybe there's been some misunderstanding. I also think there might be some misunderstanding. She even said that she has a voice recorder with George's confession recorded on it. She's all fired up to take it to the police and file a complaint. I find it hard to believe that she'd be so confident with a bold lie like that. I don't know. Some people do, don't they? There's no way our son would do such a thing. It's obviously a lie. Maybe that person, Julia, is the scammer? Maybe. But the fact that she knew my contact information scares me. I don't recognize the name Julia. Is my personal information leaked to scammers? Do you know any woman named Julia? Nope. I don't think I knew anyone by that name either. I see. I don't know what to do now. If she's really a scammer, she might be using a fake name. Anyway, I'll be back home tomorrow. You know, it might be a good idea to take George and stay somewhere safe tonight. You're right. Julia might know our address, so I'll contact my parents and have Dad come pick us up. Yeah, that's a good idea. Also, it might be best not to reply until we figure out how she got your number. If anything happens, you should report it to the police immediately. Just be careful, okay? Okay, I will. I'll get ready to leave right away. Good. If anything happens, let me know right away. I will. I'll let you know when I arrive at my parents' house. Okay, take care. Where's the $300,000 in child support? Did your husband leave you because he found out you were a scammer? Don't tell me you don't have money to pay me. Even if that's the case, it's your own fault. I won't forgive you until I get the money. Look! Look how big my belly has gotten. Do you realize that my baby is your grandchild? Raising your son to be a scammer and taking money from him? What kind of mother are you? Pay up the $300,000 in child support now. If you don't pay today, I'll submit the evidence to the police. If that happens, both you and George will end up in jail. If you don't want that, just pay me now. Doesn't it look familiar? Wait. No way. It's crazy, right? Maybe we can find out who this person is. Yeah, maybe we can find out who she's referring to about George. Yeah, you're right. I'll ask around on my way home from work. Thank you. Please be careful, honey. I will. See you soon. Hi, Julia. Finally, you replied. Oh well, I already filed a complaint for marriage scam. I'll make your son take responsibility. Let me tell you something. George is a cat. What? I should have clarified that sooner. But it's your fault for not checking the fact too, you know? Oh, what do you mean? You got my contact information from one of the regulars at the bar, right? How did you know? I recognized the location in the photo you sent. It was taken at the bar my husband and I frequent. You're Julia Davis, an employee at that bar. How did you know my full name too? I explained the situation to the manager of the bar and he told me. Then I checked with the person who gave you my contact information. Apparently, you told that person that George caused trouble with a young lady. Actually, he asked me if I had heard from you. I corrected him saying that George is a house cat, so of course, he didn't cause any trouble with the lady. Are you kidding? A cat? But I heard you were bragging about buying a new house for George. And you even bought him a condo. Do you mean a $100 cat condo? Stop lying. You said George was your family, your son. I heard you guys happily chatting at the bar. George is a male cat, so... For my husband and me, who don't have children, he's our precious son. What the hell? So George is really... a cat. Oh my God. I wanted to meet George, so I worked at the bar to gather information. I overheard conversations about a house and a condo for George. And since it sounded like it was from a wealthy family, I was sure it was George I was looking for. I see. So it's all your misunderstanding. Oh my God, it can't be true. The George you mentioned is your college friend, right? He comes from a wealthy family. Yes, you know him? I heard it from the manager. Apparently, George got a job at an overseas company 5 years ago. And he hasn't returned since then. I heard that you shared that story with the manager. It's obvious that you couldn't be pregnant with this child. So what were you thinking with all these marriage scams and pregnancy claims? Damn it! Yeah, you're right. It's all a lie. I knew it. It's all George's fault. When we were in college, no matter how much I confessed my feelings to him, he wouldn't take me seriously. And to make matters worse, he started dating another girl. He went abroad without telling me anything, and he hasn't contacted me since. Don't you think that's terrible? Well, it's hard for me to judge because I don't know anything about it. I hated him so much for looking down on me. I heard about his family living in this town, so I moved here to seek revenge. If I couldn't have George himself, I thought I could at least extort money from George's parents and feel better. And yet, I can't believe all the stories that I heard were about a cat. I had no idea that it was actually about a completely different George. Expecting people to believe in a pregnancy or marriage scam involving someone they haven't seen for years, why would you even think they'd believe you? I thought it would work if I had evidence. The recorded proof that his mother threatened him and committed marriage scam. But that's fabricated, right? You asked somebody to make a fake voice record, and the pregnancy was a complete lie too. You got help from your coworkers, stuffed padding into your clothes to make you look pregnant, and then took a photo, right? Your manager saw everything. I showed him the photo that you sent me. He mentioned he always thought you were a bit odd, but he never imagined you'd commit a crime. He also said he's going to fire you. What? Why? I didn't commit any crimes. You misused customers' personal information, threatened them, and slandered them. Furthermore, you fabricated evidence about George. I've filed a police report, and I'm sure the police will be on their way soon. You might not face criminal charges, but at the very least, you'll be forced to leave the bar. Abusing customers' personal information is the biggest taboo in the service industry. Why would you do such a terrible thing? I'm a victim hurt by George. I have a right to revenge, don't I? This time, I just made a mistake about the target. Please make your excuses to the police. No, don't report it, please. Just explain that it was a misunderstanding to the police. We have your photo, testimonies from people at the bar, and screenshots of our conversation. You can't just say it was a misunderstanding. You should have been more careful with handling personal information before thinking about revenge. Julia was arrested by the police and, during interrogation, it emerged that she had committed several other crimes in addition to our case. She had been stalking a married man resembling George among the bar customers, and was also embezzling money from the cash register. Since the offenses came to light, she ended up in jail. The bar owner and Julia's parents offered us apologies, and the matter was resolved. Nevertheless, out of caution, we decided to relocate. We had been considering moving to a larger house for George's benefit, so it worked out well. George is lounging around today without a care in the world about our human drama. Watching him like that puts my mind at ease.
Sarah's husband visited me today. He got me a gift. What do you think it is? I don't know. How would I know? My favorite king crab legs! Isn't it amazing? I'm too excited! Well, it's great. That's why I told you to marry someone of my choice too. Yes, Sarah is great. She's so different from you. Huh? I'm tired of hearing that, Mom. Huh? Don't make fun of me. So, that's all you wanted to say? If you're gonna talk about my fiancé, I need to go now. That attitude! I've arranged a date with a wealthy man for you. You even turned him down. So, I thought the guy you chose must have been a celebrity. But he's a shabby poor man. He was wearing work clothes to come to my house to greet me. I couldn't help but look at him 3 times. You don't listen to me anyway. I can't say anything. If you don't like me, say what you want. I don't live my life to be loved by my mother. I'll marry him no matter what you say. I don't like the way you try to get your daughter to do what you want. We've had this conversation so many times already. I'm just so tired of it. You always say messaging me is a waste of time. Do you realize that it's almost always you who start our messaging? Really? That's because you don't listen to me and keep doing whatever you want. I have some advice as your mom. Sarah married a rich man and they're so kind to me. But you're such a failure. So that's all you wanted to say? What? That's all you have to say? I'm working overtime right now. See you later. Sarah, I heard from Mom again. Your husband got Mom something expensive again. Kaylee. That's right. He went shopping without asking again. I told him to stop. Is he using your credit card again? You should stop your card. I thought about that too. I came up with a better idea. What do you mean? I'll tell you about this the next time I see you. Yeah? Okay. Why is your husband sending Mom so many gifts? I kind of understand if he's doing this to his mother, but... Oh, I see. Didn't I tell you about this? What? He and his mother are not blood related. Oh, really? His real mother died when he was 10. His current mother married his father after he took off for college. He moved into his dorm, so they never lived together. Maybe he doesn't feel like she's his mother. I don't know if that's why, but maybe he wants to be liked by his mother-in-law. Oh, I see. I kind of understand. But that doesn't mean he could spoil Mom. Especially our mom, you know? Well, I have no intention of letting it go on like this either. I'll talk about it next time I see him. Yes, I understand. I know you'll be fine, but if you ever need help, you can always count on me. Okay, thanks. I'm sure you're busy preparing for the wedding in 2 months. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. You know, I'm good at those, right? You've always been good. I might take you at your word. Thank you. Hi, Kaylee. You need to cancel your wedding. What? Why? Don't tell me there's been a death in the family or something. That's not it. I'm saying that you are not marrying him, so cancel the wedding. Huh? I don't get it. There's no way I can do that on the day of the wedding. There's no reason either. I don't understand why you are telling me this. I called the wedding hall to cancel the wedding, so it's fine. What? Do you remember the man whom you met before, right? He says he can't give up on you after all. If I let him marry you, he'll give me $100,000. Isn't that great? You need to marry him. I know it's too soon, but he's a busy man. He insists on arranging the marriage today. So, we need to cancel your wedding right now. I don't understand. What? The wedding hall called us to confirm the cancellation of the ceremony. Of course, we said we had no intention of canceling the wedding. Our wedding will go ahead as planned.
I beg your pardon?
And we are already getting ready. If you think everything is gonna go your way, you're wrong.
What are you gonna do about the guy I found for you?
I don't care. It was your idea. You're on your own. If you don't approve of my wedding, that's fine. We'll get married anyway.
I've reserved a 3-star restaurant this evening for us.
No thanks. I'm getting married to my fiancé now. I decline your offer. Are you done? I'm busy. See you later.
I won't let you marry that man.
Mom, what are you doing? How could you come to a wedding in morning? I'm glad the wedding staff kicked you out right away. You were harassing your daughter.
Oh, I just did it inadvertently.
Inadvertently?
I was in a hurry, so I grabbed whatever was within my reach.
Huh? That can't be right.
The wedding was so shabby anyway.
What do you mean by shabby?
I mean, there were only 20 guests. I've never seen such a shabby wedding. I guess that's what happens when you are dealing with poor people. So shabby.
My husband is in a position where he could not choose whom he would invite. We decided to have only family members at the wedding.
I don't want to hear your excuses. I just didn't want you to get married, that's all. Your mother caused all that fuss at your wedding. The groom's family got angry and the marriage was cancelled, right? So, come home soon. Let's go see your future husband.
I'm on my honeymoon now.
Huh?
And of course, the ceremony went off without a hitch right up to the end. Everyone gave me their blessings. We turned in all the paperwork already. So, we are officially married.
What? After all those things happened?
It calmed down right away.
Huh?
I made sure all the staff and guests knew about you from the beginning. You're on the watch list.
Huh?
Well, unfortunately, one of the staff members was bribed and let you in.
What?
Only one person at the wedding tried to let you in. It's so obvious. That person is punished accordingly. The rest will be left up to the wedding venue.
That's...
Anyway, Mom, didn't you hear about my husband's occupation from Sarah?
Nope. I'm not interested in the occupation of a poor man.
I see. You've always been like that, haven't you, Mom? You always assume that whoever I choose must be poor.
What? If you say you're not poor, then tell me what you do.
You called my fiancé a poor bottom feeder. But he is Sarah's husband's cousin.
Huh? Cousin?
My husband is the next CEO.
You're kidding!
My husband works for one of Sarah's father-in-law's companies. The current CEO is going to retire in a few years, and he's gonna take over.
Huh? The next CEO? That's crazy! Then why was he wearing a dirty work uniform when he came to greet us?
That's because you told us to come over so soon. You told us if we didn't show up within 30 minutes, you would not approve our marriage. He didn't even have time to change.
But that doesn't explain why you're wearing work clothes. Why does the next CEO wear work clothes?
He works for a painting company. He's in charge there now. They want him to learn a lot of things there so he can become the CEO.
What?
Sometimes he goes to work site, right? Somewhere like people's house to paint. He was at a job site far from our house when you called us. He didn't have time to go home to change.
Why didn't you tell me first that he was the next CEO? If you had, I wouldn't have objected to your marriage.
I didn't want to tell you.
Huh?
When Sarah got married, you were totally thinking about using Sarah and her husband. I thought to myself, I'm definitely not gonna tell her about my fiancé.
You can't do that to your own parents.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Hey!
Besides, that man you wanted me to marry, he's the poor bottom feeder that you hate so much.
What?
My husband ran a background check on him. And it turns out he was a guy I met at my business partner's. He asked me out about 6 months ago. I politely turned him down because I had a boyfriend. I think he got mad that he was going to get me. Also, my husband found out that he had used his company money.
What?
There's no way he has $100,000 for you. He stole those money.
I didn't know.
You didn't know, and I didn't blame you for not knowing. I'm glad that I didn't listen to you. You're glad I married my husband, right?
Not.
Well then, Mother, I'm isolating myself from you as of today.
What? How can I allow such a thing? You are the one who just got a big promotion. You should at least share a little of that happiness with me.
I hate that kind of thinking.
What?
Why did you marry Dad?
What? That's none of your business.
I know why. Dad also owned a company, so you were after his money. Dad, he told me before he passed away. He was sad that all you cared about was his money. You inherited his money and used it up in less than 2 years. I feel sorry for Dad.
It costs a lot of money to live, you know.
But that's not the point. Will you stop destroying Sarah and my lives to get money?
Hey, don't say such a thing. Oh well, I have Sarah, don't I? That girl married a rich man for me.
Sarah has divorced a while ago.
Huh? Divorced?
Do you know why Sarah got married in the first place?
That's because the other person has money, of course. I told you before, right? She got a rich man for me.
No, the CEO asked her to take over the company. He asked her to become the next CEO of the company.
Huh? Sarah is the next CEO?
Yes, the current CEO thought she had a better work ethic than his son. His son was kind of lazy. He was rather arrogant and not so suitable for the CEO position. Sarah liked her job and the company, so she married the CEO's son. But this guy was quite a cheapskate.
A cheapskate?
You've got a lot of gifts from him, right? Do you know where the money came from?
What? Sarah's husband?
That was Sarah's.
Huh?
Sarah gave him a family card to manage the family finances. Her husband started using the credit card to buy whatever he wanted. Not to mention his own clothes, gamble, and gifts for you. He used the card to pay for all the gifts. By the time Sarah realized it, he had spent over $10,000.
No way!
She immediately thought about getting a divorce. She asked her father-in-law's bank account for the credit card payment.
What?
Of course, she told him everything. Her father-in-law was very upset. When he found out that his son had used Sarah's credit card like that, he was very, very angry. Sarah divorced him soon after that. Of course, she got the money back. She also turned down the next CEO's position, resigned, and is now looking for a new job. The current CEO had tried many times to keep her from leaving, but she said she wanted to make a clean break and start her life over.
What? Resignation? She threw away her future and now she's unemployed? What is she thinking? I thought she was a good daughter who married a celebrity. I didn't expect this at all.
I hope you finally understand.
Huh?
Sorry about this, Mom. Sarah and I will never do what you want us to do anymore. Don't even contact me anymore.
Huh? Don't tell me you are going to cut ties with me.
Let me say this one last thing. All good stories have a backstory.
Kaylee?
I'll be at the airport soon. Bye! I told my sister about this exchange. My mother was also insulated from my sister that day. When I turned on my phone on my honeymoon, I found over 50 messages from my mother. There was not a single word of apology. All she did was complain about how she had suffered because of me. She wrote nothing but complaints. I wanted to wait and see how Mother was doing. But when I found out that she had no intention of showing any remorse, I blocked her number. I don't know how my mother will live without jobs or saving money. I hope she will become a person who understands the value of money.